Hello and welcome to 3.0 TV. This is Manoj Dara. So cryptocurrencies are trying to recover from a rout this year that's wiped out more than 60% of its value since hitting a high in November 2021. So all the virtual coins were battered by the Fed's shift to monetary tightening and ensuing leveraged blowups. That's what the bigger cause of concern was, such as crypto hedge fund 3 Arrow Capital. So to explain the current situation of cryptocurrency market and its way forward, we have invited a special guest from Singapore. Let me introduce you to Anndy Lian, Chief Digital Advisor, Mongolian Productivity Organization, which is a government organization. Andy, welcome on Crypto TV.
Good to see you.
Good to see you, sir, as well. So although we have spoken in Dubai in March, and now we are in July, a lot of things have changed in this 3-4 months, Andy. If you can just begin with what is the current state of cryptocurrency market according to you, and what are you have been talking to a lot of investors as well. So what is your opinion about the current state of cryptocurrency market?
So I'm also speaking as an investor because I am a licensed fund manager. So if you look at the fund market, for example, because of what happened recently with 3 Arrows and multiple other funds were all affected. So I think the fund market is actually fairly dry right now. Everyone is just waiting for the next big thing that will come. Then they will start to raise their funds and then put it back into the crypto market. So I think in terms of the fund, this is what's happening. And you have mentioned about projects. You have mentioned about 60% drop in terms of some of this cryptocurrency. Well, some of them has dropped more than 100%. Some of them has dropped 90%. So this situation, in my humble opinion, will continue. We will see a couple of good, maybe nice charts, like Bitcoin going to 25,000. But we have to bear in mind that right now we are still in a bear market, and in a bear market, there's always ups and downs. So do not look at it like, it came up another 2,000. The bull market is coming. It doesn't work this way. There's a lot of other indicators that come together with the whole swing towards the bull market. I have not seen that yet.
So if we go back to your interview, which we have done in March, so there are few positive takeaways which I can just share it with you. So there was a lot of optimism then, and there is a lot of concern as of now. You say that the market is in the bear phase. So what are the factors that are actually responsible for this situation, wherein we have seen a fall of roughly around 60% in the market cap? If you can just highlight that, Andy.
I think this whole downturn, started off with a major black swan event that is with Terra Luna and UST. So that is actually one of the biggest snowball that we have seen so far in the last 6 months. That snowball itself has created a lot of problems. Created problems for 3AC, created problems for Celsius, and created problems for many other exchanges. Because when they go down, they brought down the whole market cap. They brought down the whole faith and confidence in the crypto market. And with that, the snowball effect will be very obvious. The lending protocols got into trouble, right? Some of the smaller exchanges got into trouble, right? Then the funds also got into trouble. To be very honest, there are still many others that are struggling during this point of time. I know because apart from me being around for a long while, I'm also an investor. So I do receive, investment decks, from companies who are actually seeking help in a different manner because they can't survive anymore.
What kind of companies are approaching you, Andy, for help?
I think there are 2 kinds of companies. So the first kind are those that are fairly new, all right, very new, but they focus a lot on the technology. Right now they can't really build because they do not have enough money to continue to do it. All right, that's the first kind. The second kind would be more finance related. So those that are into the exchange business, for example. Some of the small ones, I can't name them because I signed an NDA when I look at their deck. Looking at the figures that they have presented and the valuation that is being put forth to us at this current moment, it sounds a lot of alarm bell because the number, the valuation, and everything doesn't add up. So I see those are actually in trouble.
Sure. So as we are talking about, you have been mentioning that there are a lot of companies who are approaching you. You are into fund management. But if we talk about the broader factors that were responsible, you mentioned about inflation. You also mentioned about the Terra Luna episode which happened, and the ripple effect which was seen in Celsius and other crypto lenders. So this is coming at a time, Andy, when the US is actually on a interest rate tightening regime. So what are the impacts? And very recently, I mean, yesterday itself, we have seen a 75 basis point increase. So as a fund manager, what will be your opinion and advice to all those viewers of Crypto TV viewers who are listening to you as of now, Andy?
If you look at what the US has put forth in terms of the figure, they are going through a recession. The other countries have not shared their figures yet. For example, China. So all these things are part and parcel of telltale signs on where the market is heading, right? So if you look at US as the big brother, what you have seen yesterday is not a very good piece of news, right? Inflation will continue to go up. When recession kicks into its full cycle, more businesses will be gone.
All right. Okay.
But again, if you look at it from a flip side, we have friends who are very optimistic, saying that cryptocurrency are deflationary, right? They can fight inflation, they can fight recession. Well, that is actually a very good time to put crypto to a better test. So I'm also looking forward to that test.
Sure, Andy, you look a bit concerned about the current market situation. So, but a US economic slowdown, which is actually, as we are talking about, is leading investors to a view that the Federal Reserve will be done raising the rates by the year end, and a pivot to cutting borrowing cost in 2023, although it's a long shot, which is creating a more favorable liquidity backdrop for speculative assets, which is cryptocurrencies and the other markets related. So what is your opinion? When this will end, and when this market will come out of the bear phase? What are the factors that will take market from this level to the other level?
Sorry, I didn't answer that question just now. So I think if you look at crypto itself, right? If you look at the current trading volume, the trading volume is one of the key indicator, right? We used to be in 3 trillion plus kind of volume transaction, market cap, all of which that I've mentioned has all gone down. So when it has gone down, to be very honest, it become a down cycle for all of us. So when we see the numbers goes up, we will see a slightly better market. So far right now, I don't really see that happening. Everyone is holding back. Everyone is trying to see what's next. Everyone is thinking, oh, would there be a recession soon? How big is the recession? Is there a global recession? What's going to happen? So all these questions are there. Investors who are actually swimming in all these unknown waters, they are all very concerned. So being an investor and being a professional investor, a lot of my friends are also at the wait and see junction, especially for crypto.
Fantastic.
So that's how it is.
So Andy, since you are a fund manager, investor as well, let me ask this question to you. So how do you see this correlation between the stock market and the cryptocurrency market, especially and when we're talking about NASDAQ tech heavy index, and the cryptocurrency market seems to move hand in hand? The correlation at one point of time reached 0.85. So how can you explain this situation about the correlation factor?
I think if you look at the stock market versus the crypto market is a very small market, and many of the stock players are also crypto players. So having it correlated, it is actually very correct, right? So when the correlation is this, when a good stock, when the price goes down, many of my friends who are big fund managers, they will sell away their crypto and save their stock, right? So this whole cycle will still happen. It really depends on where the money is coming from.
Exactly.
What kind of financial situation are we heading towards? So I still think that it is closely related, because the whole money market, the whole capital market, crypto market, we are all together.
Fantastic. You mentioned about where this money is coming from. Let me ask this question to you, Andy. So, at a time when market is looking to move up, so there are many institutional adoption investors, new institutions who have come in. They have actually been accumulating maybe Bitcoin or Ethereum. That's what we read in report. So, I mean, what is the situation as far as institutional adoption is concerned? And separately, you have been part with a big exchange. So, how is the retail adoption and cryptocurrency market situation looking as of now?
I think these are very, very separate question. So first of all, I think institutions who came in during the last bull market, many of them have really sold off bit by bit and took their profit, right? Those who did not take their profit as of maybe today, most of them will continue to hold, because they are uncertain. Those who are holding are also the ones who put a very small percentage of their total asset into crypto, because they came with the mindset that, okay, if Bitcoin is not going to be 80,000 or 100,000, I'm not going to sell. They told their board member, they told their investor, oh, this is what's going to happen. So anyway, they will just keep it there. Those with the small amount, they are there to look at it long term, putting it in a nicer way. But then those who are actually the speculators, who wants to get in quick, get out quick and so forth, those have a different mindset. Some of them, they are still trying to buy, some of them are trying to sell, and then some of them are the more less optimistic ones. They are all trying to sell at a loss. Same, for stock as well. I read one of the this U.S. government person sold off Nvidia's stock at a loss. I'm not sure what's her price, but I assume that many of my friends, are also doing the same for crypto, because they are very worried that there will be another Luna situation where down 90% and then down another 90%. Coming back to the exchange perspective, I stepped down from the exchange, but from a statistic standpoint, I think the retail investor pool, are still the same. I don't see many people exiting. I don't see many people coming in. Everyone is at a look and see model right now.
So Andy, you are having your own fund and investor as well. So can you just share with our viewers the portfolio you are having under your management? If you can just share with our viewers so that they can also benefit from this advice.
Sure. Right. As of right now, non-financial advice. Most of the assets are the top 10 currently, in our basket. Not because we think that the rest of the altcoins are dropping very badly. It's because most of our altcoins, we have already realized the profit before the bear market. So that's the reason why only the top 10 coins are still within the portfolio. We are also actively looking at a technology or blockchain layer 1 coin. We are also looking at infrastructure builders. So these are some of the coins that we really look at, and these are some of the coins that we felt that it has a good upside when the bull market kicks in.
All right, since we are talking about the concerns which have actually derailed the big expectations of the cryptocurrency market, let us move to our segment 2, wherein we will highlight, Andy, the factors that will be responsible or that can pull the market out from the bear grip. So, if I may ask you about Ethereum and the merge, the optimism around the merge is actually there. September 19th is what is the date which has been announced by the Ethereum ecosystem. So as a fund manager, what do you see the impact of Ethereum merge on the entire cryptocurrency market? Because we have been reading reports that if the merge is successful, this will help the cryptocurrency market in terms of taking it to the next level.
I think the merge or ETH 2.0 is a game changer. Why do I say that? Because with the 2.0 moving towards the POS model, there will be increase in productivity, there will be increase in security, and there will also be a reduction in centralization, right? So of course with that we move towards decentralization a lot stronger, right? And then again with POS, it's a lot greener, it's easier to mine, so forth and so on. So I think the upsides are relatively higher, when we move towards Ethereum 2.0. And of course there are always two sides of things. We have friends who are very much doing mining work and so forth. They are all complaining that if this Ethereum were to switch to POS, all our mining work that we have done, in the past years, it has gone to waste. So there are many school of thoughts on how ETH 2.0 is going to look like, how the merge is going to look like. But for me, from a more maybe business standpoint and a more longevity technology standpoint, I think it is actually a very good plus point for the market. And if it's going to be launched in September, it is also a very good time, to test things out, to see how's the market acceptance to things, because, this is the bear market. No one will have too much expectation. So launching it now is a good testing ground for everybody.
So Andy, since you spoke about miners are a bit more concerned about Ethereum moving from POW to POS. So why is Ethereum Classic still running? I mean, it's actually it's like up 60-70% in last 15-20 days. So what is the reason why Ethereum Classic is getting traction?
Because the Ethereum Classic itself, still carry the legacy system and so forth. So people who are more bullish, in terms of how ETH is being moved, they look at not only ETH Classic, that they look at some of these very classic, all these old guards, ETH coins as well. In time to come, when things are more certain, launch is confirmed, and the whole works are all being confirmed, I think there will be a small hype and a small bull run, maybe a very small bull run for Ethereum. So let's wait for that. Whether classic or not, it doesn't really matter.
It doesn't really matter. All right. So
it matters when they launch on time and they really launch it, and then that's really a win-win itself.
So Andy, you mentioned about miners. Actually, this is a very interesting topic. What is the situation about Bitcoin miners? So what are your friends suggesting? What is the situation? Because in June we have seen roughly around 13,000 miners. I mean, Bitfarm had actually sold 3,000 Bitcoins. There are a lot of miners who are selling their Bitcoins on concerns that it will slip below the production cost. So what is the situation as of now, and what is the way forward? And one more thing I wanted to add to this is major adoption of Bitcoin is actually increasing. The dominance will increase going forward as well.
Dominance itself in the longer run, it definitely will increase. As for mining and so forth, this is a business that is very different. Honestly, on a personal basis, I do not really have a big, how should I say, I'm not very optimistic about this industry, because what they are trying to do is very well sunsetting, right? But if you look at it right now at this current moment, where people are still trying to mine, trying to squeeze out all inch of power just to get their coins out, Bitcoin specifically, I think they are still trying very hard, because many of them, in fact, when they sold the BTC, they are actually selling it to fund their operating cost, because they don't want to go into a situation where they are actually, heading towards a bankruptcy. So they have to sell just to maintain all their operating costs. Are the miners worried that the cost of mining gets too high? Actually, it has already gotten very high, right? It depends on a lot of other factors. When you came into the picture, when you started your mining business. So again, I think it is a very risky time, to continue to mine if you are new, but if you dare to take a risk, if you dare to look at the crypto market differently, and you think that whatever that you are mining, apart from Bitcoin, is going to give you good upside during the bull run, by all means try. But right now is a mode of survival, not a mode of trying to gain more money.
Not a mode of
survive,
right.
You can survive, and you can do your prediction that it's going to go into this bull market later on, because right now whatever they are mining for some of the other coins, it might be very cheap. So there are multiple factors, man. It's really difficult to pinpoint to one.
So Andy, very quickly, if you can just highlight about Bitcoin and its way forward. It is trading roughly around $25,000. So what are the two important news events you see that will take Bitcoin to maybe 30,000 and above?
30,000 and above, I think it's not difficult, to be honest. Just have some good news about US, for example, right? If the US market is good, the US stock market is good, I think hitting back to 30,000 is not a problem at this current moment. But from 30,000 to the 69,000 all-time high, I think that would be a small difficulty, man. So let's look forward to that later on. Right now, again, like I mentioned, it's about survival mode. It's about building up the traction again. So 30,000, I think, is reasonable. Let's see.
All right. So very quickly, Andy, if you can just highlight your view on the entire NFT space and the way forward.
Sure. I think the NFT market is in a phase where people are still trying to build, trying to find new innovative ways to build their project or to build their dream. So recently we see different things like a free mint. So effectively, people who are buying the NFTs are just paying for the processing fee. That's about it. The creator are not getting anything from the primary sale. People are trying their very best to keep their dream alive. So I think the industry with more of such people, I think it's very rosy, to be very honest. And I also mentioned that I'm completing a book called NFT Zero to Hero. That book itself also, try to portray the right image for NFT, how people can create their NFTs. It's not so difficult to do it. So coming back to the point on how the whole industry is like, if you see people coming out with books, you see projects still trying their very best to create something, to create more community, to create a buzz. You see Binance, you see Bybit, you see Crypto.com, all these exchanges, they are still sponsoring, they are still doing what they need to do, to build up the NFT market. To me, NFT is going to be a very big shining star.
Fantastic.
So right now, prices are lower, market is bad, volume for NFT has dropped a lot. It doesn't matter. Put it in the other way, is that perhaps during the bull market, the NFT prices are actually overpriced, right? So right now, just go down a bit, continue to build, good things will come.
All right, the NFT is going to be a shining star. That's a word coming in from Andy. And we wish you a lot of success as far as your book is concerned, and do let us know how you intend to launch it as well. So one last question before we end this conversation, Andy. So how are you
Sure.
seeing steps taken by the Indian government on cryptos? What is your view about the regulations as well? If you can just highlight. You are sitting in Singapore, and what is your opinion as an investor fund manager?
Oh, I have very mixed feelings on what the India government is doing, but I still like to emphasize on the fact that the Indian government trying to regulate cryptocurrency, trying to put the rules up front for the players to follow and so forth. I think that's a very big step, very big step. Not all regulators have the guts to do that. So kudos to the Indian government. As for how well all these regulations can fit to the local market, can it draw in other foreign investment through
Fantastic.
cryptocurrency? That is something for us to really look into. Give it 1 to 2 years time. Everything will be shown.
All right, that's all. Thank you so much, Andy, for joining on Crypto TV and sharing your views about the entire cryptocurrency market. You spoke really well about the broader concerns in the cryptocurrency market. You also spoke about the miners who are your friends who are actually in broader concern. And we wish you all the luck for your new launch or for the book on NFTs. Thank you so much, Andy, for being part of this interaction. You spoke really well about the entire cryptocurrency market situation and its way forward. Thank you so much for joining. That's all there is in today's The Crypto Masters. This is Manoj Dara signing off. But keep watching 3.0 TV for more such interesting updates and interviews. Thank you.